Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Today's question comes from a house cleaner who owns her own company and she's a free spirit and she just shows up whenever she wants and it totally works for her. This is the best job she's ever had. But her question is, it's making my customers really mad that I'm always late. And they keep complaining to me and they tell me they're going to replace me if I don't show up on time. What is the big deal? Okay, so here's the big deal. The big deal is that everything in our universe runs on a clock. There are 24 hours in a day. There are 7 days in a week. There are 4 weeks in a month. There are 52 weeks in a year, and everything works off of a calendar. If randomly Monday morning came at a different time every week, it would throw you off schedule, right? So everything works off of a clock. Time is one of those resources that is very limited. Once the time is gone, you cannot get it back. It's gone. It is a finite resource. So as a business owner, it is very important to realize that yes, you do have some creative control in your scheduling. But if you're going to schedule customers on a regular basis, those customers are going to want a consistent time every week or every other week when you come. The reason being is they work off of schedules. So while you may not, your customers do. Most of the companies that we do business with have schedules and they have office hours and they have certain times that you can come. The other day I was out running errands and I needed to drop by a particular store. And when I went to the store, I had a coupon in my hand. It was going to expire in 2 days. This is the only time between now and that 2-day window that I could go into this store to buy this particular item. And it was the only store that sold that item. So I'm really excited. I run in there and I get up to the door and there's a sign on the door that says, I ran out for a few minutes. I'll be back in a few. All right. This is during regular business hours. And now I'm inconvenienced and I had to make a decision. Do I want to sit here and wait for a few minutes because I don't know what that is? Or is my time more valuable to me and I'm going to just have to take my business somewhere else? I'm going to have to forget about this product. And so I chose, because my time is valuable, I chose to forget about that project and just not buy it. But what I also decided was this. I'm going to find a replacement for that product because I don't want to do business with someone who randomly closes their doors during business hours. Okay, that's a huge inconvenience. If it happened to me today, it's possible it could happen again next time I go to that store. I don't want that kind of an experience because I drove a good ways out of my way to go to that store, to frequent that particular store so that I could give them my business and my money, right? So it's the same in house cleaning. You know, the airlines run off of schedules. If you're late by 10 minutes, you've missed your flight. Doctors, dentists, they all run off of schedules. If you show up 20 minutes late, they may have to rebook you on a different day. Your time is gone. Like I say, once that time is gone, you cannot get it back. If there are busy professionals that have blocked in a particular window of time and you randomly show up, you've screwed up their schedule. Now, in the house cleaning industry, if you're working out of your house, I know a lot of professionals that work out of their house, and they may be having a day of conference calls where they have asked their house cleaner, can you come between 9 and 12 so that I can do conference calls all afternoon? And that is really important to them because they don't want to be competing with a vacuum cleaner while they're on a $1 million conference call trying to close a deal. Does that make sense? And when the house cleaner shows up an hour late and she's running the vacuum cleaner, that doesn't sound very professional when you're trying to close a big deal and you have a house cleaner in the background that's, singing and vacuuming and all kinds of weird things. So there are reasons why customers are freaking out. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret, and if you will listen to this secret, this will help your business enormously. I never kept track, and I don't know the exact percentage, but I cannot tell you how many times over the last 25 years that me and my company have been hired for this one reason alone. This one reason alone. We have a reputation for always being on time. We start on time, we stop on time. And our customers know I have this window. If they are 1 minute late to open the door for us, they've made us late. That cuts into their time. I cannot stay a minute late. I have a particular window of time because I owe it to my next customer to get to the next customer's house. So I start on time and I stop on time. If you want to spend time chatting and you want to squander my time, that's entirely up to you. But I'm on a very specific time frame because time is a limited resource. And as a business owner, here's the thing you need to know. Whatever you do right now will transfer over to your employees. So if you show up an hour or 2 hours late for a cleaning, so will your employees. And if you have blocked in 5 houses for a day and you have a house cleaner that shows up that is 2 hours late, you are not going to be able to keep employees because your customers will fire you. You cannot do 5 houses in a day if 2 of your house cleaners are an hour or 2 hours late, or consistently late, or don't consistently get to the next house on time. So it's a little tiny problem that has a domino effect, and that domino effect trickles through your entire business. But we've been hired so many times just because we had a reputation for showing up on time. You wouldn't think that people would fire their house cleaner because they were late. But they do! They do, because that is such an annoyance when every time you have no idea, well, I have an arrival window. I show up at a particular time. You know what? House cleaning is such a very specific task that you don't need an arrival window. You can say my arrival window is from 9 to 12. I'm going to show up during that time. I'm going to start at 9. I'm going to end at 12. That is my arrival and cleaning time. My next house starts at 12:10 and it's 2 doors down or whatever it is. The reason it's so specific is this. If you don't get your timing down, if you don't get your scheduling correct, you can't schedule a maximum number of houses in the course of a day. And because we're paid off the work that we do, people don't pay us just for being cool, right? We have to actually show up and do the work. So if you don't figure out your schedule, you can't block a maximum number of houses during that time. And as you go to hire employees, you can't book people for random time. Those people also work off of schedules. And they're going to go find a job at another cleaning company if you cannot provide set hours for them to work. And especially if you're paying them by the hour. So, well, let's just show up and clean Mrs. Jones' house like whenever we feel like it today. That doesn't make very much sense for business. So if you are a business owner, yeah, you do have some creative control over your schedule, but pick certain hours that you're going to work from 8 until 5, or you're going to work from 5 until 10, whatever the hours are that you choose. But those are the hours, and then stick to those hours and show up on time so that you know what you're going to expect, your employees know what to expect, your customers know what to expect, and you know how to bill for the time that you worked. Whether it's by the job or by the hour, it still comes down to that finite amount of time that you're never going to get back if you squander it. So what's the big deal? The big deal is if you squander your time, you're not going to be in business 6 months from now because you will continually get fired again and again and again from people who do work off of schedules. Boom, that's my answer. Okay, so that's my tip for today. If you found this tip helpful, please leave us a like in the little button below because that just lets us know that, yeah, this is right on target. Or you can leave us a thumbs down for, nope, I choose to always be late and I'm going to squander my time. So let us know what you think. Until I meet you again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.